back workout, pretty simple. You guys know the drill. Series of pull downs and rows alternating back and forth. And just until I get a sick pump, hit some PRs, challenge the muscle, fail on a few sets for a good measure, and do some posing, and off we go. So what I've been doing recently on back day is I've been using the cable pullover as kind of a warm-up exercise. I still go heavy on it. So I'm still progressively building up with warm-ups and then working sets. But it's a nice lead-in exercise. It does take away a bit of performance on the second and third exercises. So you're not going to be as strong as if you went in fresh. But, you know, it's a pretty good exercise regardless. As I say, I still go heavy on it, as heavy as I can. This was almost a whole stack. And the goal with this is to not only drive the arms down to the waist, but also you want to kind of shrug your shoulders back too. I find if you don't shrug your shoulders back, you're not getting the full back involved. So you'll see how I'm pulling not quite low. I'm pulling almost to stomach level. That means I can shrug my shoulders back, pull to stomach level, and get the entire back involved. If I pull too low, it's kind of more lat. Pull too high, it's almost all upper back. So that's the first exercise. And as I say, I do go heavy on that. So it does take away some of the performance, some of the strength on the subsequent exercises, but that's okay. That's not something I'm bothered about. So the first main exercise, second exercise, is the machine pullover. Love this piece of kit. And there's a little tip for you guys if you don't know this. If you find getting into pullover machines kind of awkward, just use straps. You see how I've got the straps position there? A lot of machines that I've used in the past, the elbow pads don't necessarily line up to where you need to hold the bar. And obviously, we're all different sizes. Some of us are bigger, some of us are smaller. Some of us have got longer limbs, some of us have got shorter limbs, whatever. So I just find this technique means I can get a strong grip with my hands, and my elbows are dug in as well. So it's just perfect. So a little tip for you guys, it'll just make you feel more stable. And if you're more stable, you can push harder. So yeah, I really enjoy this exercise. I think it's a classic. It's an absolute staple. If you got a good pullover machine, it's solid. Yeah, big fan of these. And again, you want to try and get as much of a contraction as you can, but also for the purpose of this exercise, you really want to try and bias that stretch as much as you can. For me, that position was a good stretch. You know, for you guys, you might need to go even higher up, whatever. We're all different. Whatever is a stretch for you. I'm a bit tighter because I'm just big, right? So some of you guys might be able to be more flexible. The third exercise of the day was this classic chest supported row. At this point, my back is already pretty fatigued. It's already pretty pumped, so I'm not able to handle as much weight. But geez, do I look huge there? Absolutely massive. The thickness of those arms. But anyway, so yeah, so the goal for me with this is by this time I'm already quite pumped. I'm already quite fatigued. What I want to do is I want to try and get the most out of the shortened position. So I'm trying to just squeeze it a little bit at the top. That's the idea with this. Just because at this point in the workout, I've done a lot of the heavy lifting already. I did also do some neutral grip pull downs. They didn't record, unfortunately, about 4 sets of those, which again were, I guess, both stretch and squeeze focused. And then the next exercise was the cable row, not the final exercise. But I like to mix up the handles of this. I find with this wide handle here, it allows me just to pull a little bit deeper. And at this point in the workout, I'm trying to really emphasize that squeeze. Occasionally, I'll do this with a close grip handle, which I find it's not as good for range of motion because, like, when you're built like me, when you're quite big, your arms get in the way of your torso and you can't pull all the way back. So the close grip is no good. A wider grip just gives you a better range of motion, for me anyway. Depends on your size. Smaller guys might be able to get a full range of motion with the close grip, but at a certain point, you have to pull with a wide handle. So I like this. Feels great. As I say, pulling this distance, that's about as far as I can go and still feel a good contraction in my back. I did do one extra exercise. I finished off with cable pullovers again, and I just did a finisher on that about 5 sets just as a finisher. I then did some posing. This is about 90 kilos in the morning. Pretty big. At about 5'11", in case you're wondering. I get asked that a lot. This is probably about as big as I will get for now. Not massively interested in getting much bigger. But, we'll see what happens after this. I'm still pretty lean, to be fair, but we'll see what happens. But yeah, in any case, that was a pretty solid back day. Good pump, hit some good numbers, beat some PRs. Felt like I was in a good flow. Happy days. And here is what you all actually came for. A baby photo of Diesel. Enjoy.